Wow, that's amazing. It just had me all over the place, y'all. This signal was so bad. Oh boy. I'm out in this in the deep. But what's happening, y'all? How y'all doing? It's Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, president of the ONYXCON Foundation. And it is a little bit warm out here now. Not really, it's still cool. It's cool, but it's that cool that makes you feel like, okay, I got on my hat and my jacket, or at least a thick sweatshirt. You can sit outside and enjoy some of the sun. If you know the sun hitting you direct, it's one of them days that feel good to be outside like that. Yeah, it's that kind of day, that kind of day. How y'all doing wherever you at in the world, whatever you're doing in life? Yo, I was finished chopping it up with y'all. I started another live earlier. I had to end that one. I just I meant to pick that one up and keep it running, but it didn't happen that way. A lot going on, y'all. A lot going on, to say the least. Um, on a personal level, trying to do some things. Hold on, let me see this here. I gotta hold on. I just saw one of the little street sign type things for an event that's coming up. And it looks kind of interesting. I might have to check that out, make that some content. Y'all see interesting things. You got to pay attention. You got to be aware. You got to know. I ain't gonna announce what I'm talking about yet, but if I do it, y'all will know. Trust me, I make a big deal of everything we do here at ONYXCON. You know this. Um, yeah, yeah, we're gonna check into that and see what that's about. But anyway, yo, I was gonna say I have been having the most crazy days for the beginning of this year. And it's kind of interesting. It seems like the theme of today is meeting other workers doing this courier work stuff, and us all speaking on how up, down, and all around it can be to do this type of work. Uh, I literally just dropped off an order for a lady who came out to get her groceries. She started talking. She talking that talk, that courier talk. Like, well, how is it today? You been up on them? You getting them good ones? I said, what, you do this? She's like, yeah, I just started doing it. I said, oh, I understand. I said, yeah, well, it's kind of slow. You my first order of the day, but it was a good one. I just had a lot of shopping. She had a big bunch of stuff, cart full of stuff. Uh, so I said, yeah, but you've been my only one today. I haven't, but that's also because I had other stuff I had to do. She, oh, I know how that goes. I said, yeah. I was thinking to myself, man, I'm down here dealing with car troubles and still able to drive, but got to get some stuff fixed. Woo! Too much, too much, too much, too much. But we making it work, right? That's what we all got to do every day, some way, somehow, right? And so we was just talking about. She hadn't only been doing it for just a few months, and she really I could tell she was a novice because she was the way she was talking about how you had to wait and stuff. I said, no, don't let them get you like that. Make sure you go to other stores. Don't ever be waiting so long that you ain't gonna get enough for your day. You're just gonna be sitting there, and it's gonna waste your gas, waste your time, waste everything. I told her about another story. Now I told her about another app that she could use. And she's like, I ain't even heard of that. I said, yeah, I'm just putting folk on. I try to help people to find another better way. There's a way to be. She said, yeah, I'm gonna check that one out. I said, yeah. I said, no, don't expect it to be perfect though. Ain't every last one of them got some mess about them. She said, I know that's right. I said, but please believe it. So then when I was even getting that order, there was another lady, whole another person. And we both, like sometimes they don't have enough lanes for you to check out for when you're doing this part of it. It's not like there's a special lane they want us to go through. So we don't, back up with the regular customers and stuff. And I'm I'm checking it. There's only 2 registers open for doing it, even though it's supposed to be 5. And so I got all this stuff and I gotta bag it, and I'm trying to move to the side so these other the other drivers can get their stuff. I said, you can come on up. I'm just gonna pull to the side so you can still, scan and do what you gotta do. So she doing that, and we talking. And I said, so you do this here, you do this app. She's like, yeah. I said, wow. I said, how long you been? She said, 7 years. And like, it was so funny because I wasn't even really looking at her at first. Like, we were just kind of talking while we both working. Like, yeah, I know, right? I know that. So peripherally in my mind, I can kind of see her shape, and I'm feeling like I'm talking to a little short, stout, light-skinned black woman. Because her voice, I'm talking about, when I tell you, if you're from Atlanta, if you ever been to Atlanta, you from the South, or you'd have to be from any of the bordering states to Georgia because it can sound the same. And, or even as far over as like Louisiana and some of Texas and stuff can sound like people from Atlanta. You know, everybody want to act like their accent is so unique. It is, but at the same time, it's familiar. You know, I meet people from other parts of the South, and I swear I'm thinking I'm meeting somebody from Atlanta sometime. I'll be like, "Where you from?" They be like, "Oh, I'm from such and such, North Carolina or South Carolina." Shout out South Carolina. I just happen to be wearing my hat today. You know what I'm saying? And and it always cracks me up. Just there are those nuances though. There are those certain little nuances in the voice. It's just like people from the Caribbean, and I love when I see them meet each other versus somebody American try to figure out where they're from. Because the first thing everybody American want to say if you hear a Caribbean accent is like, "Oh, you're from Jamaica." Like Jamaica's the whole Caribbean, and they hate that. I want you to know they really don't. Like, if they're not from Jamaica, they hate that. Jamaicans love it because they're like, "Yes, we are everything, Jamaica." You know, and everybody's so proud of their place. But like I got friends from like Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad, I don't care what they say, it's still similar. It's what I'm talking about, that similar nuance in the voice. But it is specific. It's certain little things they say or do. Like I can tell. I'm going way off on this thing to get back to the other thing, but it's just certain little things, little parts of the voice, certain sayings, certain words. Like shout out Barbados. That like if you ever listen to how Rihanna talk, Rihanna has this nasally sound to her voice when she's speaking. It's like nya 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 nya. Nya. That's coming from certain African languages and the peoples who were brought there from the West African countries. They were brought, especially in Ghana. There's certain specific groups of people, and they have that sound to the language. There's a g g g. It's the NG family of sound. And if you know, you know. I don't have to explain that to people from there or from those places. They know exactly what I'm talking about, and they saying amen right now, right? So when I tell you, same thing kind of happens with people in the South, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, whatever. There's similarities, right? And so this girl, like I said, for the peripheral, I'm thinking I'm talking to a short, light-skinned black woman with maybe brownish, sandy hair, because I can see this in my peripheral as I'm still bagging. I'm trying to stay working. I ain't trying to be in too much conversation. And I'll be real on some dude stuff. The sound of her voice was cute in a familiar way, but in a it's not a sexy voice to me. It's like a hood hard girl from the hood voice. Again, if you're from Atlanta, you understand. But like this is literally how she sounded, right? Like we were talking, I said, "So yeah, you been with it for a minute?" "Oh hell yeah, I've been doing it here. I've been doing it right here for like 7 years." I said, "7 years?" Yeah, she said, "7 years. I've been out here doing it right here. Shoot, heck yeah." And it was crazy today because when I got that order, I was like, "This is just how I swear this is how she sounded." When I got this order, I was like, "Shoot, this is some good money right here. I'm gonna go in out and get this one. I'm gonna have to get out here and get with it, yeah, because at the other store, you ever go to the other side? Yeah, I go out there too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You go out there, shoot, man. You be just sitting in your car sometime. I said, man, I ain't got time for that today, shit. You're gonna be waiting my goddamn time. And then they people don't want to pay you no tip, and they want you to bag all these damn groceries. Hell no, I ain't doing all that. You gonna pay me? Shoot, come on, we gonna have to get these coins. And so at that point, I kind of looked up, laughing. I was like, oh, so I'm laughing even harder. She a country white girl. She is white as she wanna be, but she just is soul, as we used to say back in the day in ATL. We used to say, man, she be a shot of soul in hell. She soul in hell. Shot. I said, God dang. Her voice had me rolling. I said, she is the truth. As one of my silly friends from way back in the day, this lady I used to work with straight from Atlanta. She said, "You the truthicus." That is the truth. Not the truthicus right there. Not the truth. The truthicus. But yeah, she was definitely that to the fullest. And I said, "Where you from?" She said, "Oh, from Riverdale." I said, I said, Clayco, Clayton County shouted. I said, "Hell yeah." She ain't nothing but the truth. She don't know nothing else. This is how she came out the womb talking. Like her mama probably sound like this, daddy sound like this, all her friends sound like this. I was like, this is hilarious right now. But yeah, she was cool. We was just talking to her about how stuff be in this world with that, and then I mentioned the infamous V app, and I said, she said, "Oh yeah, I do that too. I do all of them." She named all these. I said, "Man, you for real?" And she said, "Yeah, sure, I've been doing this off and on for 7 years. 7 years, just like she said." Damn. She is not. She's not playing. She about it. About it. About it. About it. But yeah, that whole exchange really had me rolling. Man, I gotta get gas. Let me go ahead and do this. I guess I'll stay on with y'all while I do this. May as well. Or if I have to come back, I will. I'm forgetting what day it is too. It's the, ooh, what you doing? You pulling off too fast, playboy? This is a gas station. This ain't the damn. God damn! He pulled off the pump like he about to hit the Indy 500. Calm down, people. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna get there in one piece if you just act right. Because I promise you, the other side of it is a whole bunch of bills and stress, and it can get legal and court and all kind of other nonsense for nothing that should have been easy. But you done made it hard. Just woosah. Oh my gosh, people. All right, y'all. But I was gonna tell y'all about something I was watching last night. I might do a reaction video to it. I like doing my little short reactions, and obviously y'all like them too, because our highest grossing video of all time on this channel, of all things, of all the stuff that we really do. You know, there's like the side stuff, the appetizers, the condiments. I like to call it. That's why I tell y'all all the time. I say the shorts are the condiments. That ain't the meat. Y'all want the real meal, you got to watch the long content, not just the shorts. But you know, it's a waste of breath because I'm learning that, hey, if it's helping the channel, it's helping the channel. And I do see y'all like my lives, so I appreciate that y'all like my lives. Because if you're here for the lives, then you know all of it adds up to numbers. And I always get more subscribers from going live than I do anything. But I also add them from shorts. And then there's the like I'd say every live gets me 2 to 5 subscribers. Every short, well, not every short. Shorts get you views for sure. At least on this channel, that's been our situation. And then whatchamacallit,